Slim doesn't have a photo ID, so he can't rent a bird. I found a free bird. Maybe since his is slow as shit, I could give him the stick and I could hold the stick and we could go fast together. You know what I'm saying? It's not really that early. It's like 8 a.m., but we're pretty fucking tired. All right.
Yo, what's up guys? We're in Los Angeles playing at the Greek Theater tonight, and this is our home on wheels. Welcome to the tour bus. This is our living room. This is where everyone just hangs out before, in the morning, after the show. Comes like fully with like kitchen. This will normally be like where I edit. Then we got the bathroom right here. No pooping allowed. Got the freezer and the fridge. So like, you can really live on here and it's actually mad comfortable. This is all of our beds. So right now there's, I think 10 people. So this is me down here. It's like, it seems small, but it's actually really comfortable. And this is the back lounge. So this is where like, we set up the studio, you know, we just chill, work, hang out, all that stuff, man. So what we're about to do is, we just got to LA. Tonight is a show at the Greek Theater. This is my Pelican case, and I recently got this, and it's helped me so much because I have a lot of gear. So like right now in here I have a film camera, Pentax 6.7. I have my drone, you know, random stuff. Polaroid, this is what I need to take into the venue. Every single venue we have a day sheet so we know what's going on. So we have meet and greet from 4:15 to 4:45. So I'm gonna scope out the venue, see how it's laid out, and then we'll start meet and greet. So this is what I'll be climbing. So I can literally climb all the way up there. Normally when I scope venues, like I'll also just get like establishing shots of the venue. Honestly, like nothing's in specific other than how I can maneuver the fastest. So like I get it, there's a ton of chairs, but like I want to know all the little back alleys and whatnot so I can just get from one place to another mad quick. So if I go from shooting a song on stage and I know I want to be out in the crowd for the next song, I want to know how I can get out here the fastest. I would always suggest having like more than one camera. Not that you need 2 DSLRs, because I've had 2 DSLRs and it's not fun to maneuver, but to have like your go-to camera and then like a little camera on the side, so if that one dies or you run out of space, you can just switch over mad easy. So we're doing a meet and greet right now. I have a lot of tools that I use, like so many. So I have this little camcorder, like Polaroid, my big camera, which is, I use the 1DX Mark II, a couple lenses, and a lot of film cameras. I have like 4 film cameras with me. So this is like my over-the-shoulder bag, which it works great for just like everyday use, like my wallet and stuff, but sometimes for shows I can put like this camera in here. I have another bag that I put on my hip to keep like a flash or a camera in so that it just makes everything easier. Like I try to utilize everything I have to fit gear. This is the harness that I wear to climb, to get like really dope angles and stuff. And after a couple shows, they made me wear this. It's literally like a rock climbing harness so that I don't fall. The lenses I have are the 24 to 105. On here right now I have the 24 to 70, and I also have.
Yeah, we are live from LA. It's Black Without Cream. Let us know if you're in the chat. If you're in here watching, let us know. We're trying some new shit, so we got new mics. Hopefully we can make it sound a little bit crispier for this work review and critique of the month. How's everyone doing? If you're here, welcome to the stream. If you're new, we do these every single month. No idea if anyone has seen this because it's not telling me on my computer for some reason. Let us know if anyone is in here. Dave, how you doing?
Good.
You in here?
Says you got 2.
To what?
Right there it says you got 2 viewers.
It's probably me and your computer.
I actually got some.
See, it's weird. It tells me, like, this tells me the views in here, like if anyone's in here. And it's saying that's nothing, but let's see what this is. Maybe we need to start doing these in the Facebook group. Yeah. What's going on? Is anyone in here? If you are in here, please tell us what's going on. I would like to know.
Click that link.
This guy?
Mm-hmm.
We just recorded a new morning roast that will drop tomorrow, which is cool. Oh, cool. So we have comments. Sorry, for some reason, why the fuck aren't the comments coming in on this shit? Live. Let's refresh the chat. It's weird. So we tried a new streaming service, and it's not really showing us anything. So we'll just stick with this guy then, I suppose.
The camera exposure need to be boosted.
What's up?
Camera exposure.
Is it dark? Why does it look so damn dark? We are winning. Can you take a look at it? Because it looks fine on here, but maybe the ISO's super mad low. It's right on this side. What's going on, everybody? It's quiet but crispy. Quiet but crispy. Let me let's see if we can turn up the mics here. Maybe you can hear me a little bit better now. You should probably be able to hear me better. This might not be the wave. If I do it, there we go. That looks good. I don't know why on the YouTube side it looks dark as shit.
There's no card in here.
There's never a card. With new technology comes new issues, so bear with us.
Refresh that. Alright, so there you go. There goes.
Cool. Got it kind of figured out now. Boy. Work review and critique. That's what we're doing today. Dave, I think I need to turn your volume up a little bit or just stay kind of close to that mic if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we just recorded a new morning roast. It's about 4 tips for concert photographers. We kind of dove in on that for a minute. All right, she said that's better. Cool. Good. So we just did that, which was cool. I think that there's some juice in that one. How you guys been liking the morning roast episodes? Also, how you guys liking these live streams? We got another one on Thursday. You know what the topic is for that one on Thursday?
You wrote finding funding for
Oh yeah, about finding funding, because I think that's an interesting topic to talk about. The different types of funding that you can get for a creative when you're trying to put together a project. Sometimes it's about finding a funding so you could do a music video. Sometimes it's about finding funding for like a short film that you want to create, or maybe it's a photo shoot that you want to do and you need props and things like that. It can be challenging, so we're gonna go into that on Thursday. So make sure to join us on Thursday. If you're not a Patreon member, you should sign up for that right now to support this Black with No Cream shit. What up, Ian? Shout out to Ian. Yeah, so today's work review and critique, we're going to be going through everyone's stuff, checking out all your work, and sharing. What do you need, louder or quieter?
I think you should go a little quieter.
Quieter?
Yeah.
We're going to check out your work and, just play some of it and give our opinion and give some feedback. If you guys think, or if you want to have any of your stuff reviewed today, make sure to drop it in the Discord. That would be preferred. If you need to drop it on the Patreon page, do that and just let us know in the chat if you dropped a link in there. Live streams are dope as fuck. Morning roasts are also fire. My boy Nick. All right, cool. What's everyone working on this week? Let us know.
Interested to hear what you guys are putting together. We already have some submissions, so I'm gonna pull those up right meow. Let's do this guy over here. Oh, cool. So we got some photos out the gate.
Read it. Read what he said about it.
I will. I just lost it.
It's on the Discord.
All right. So for the first one, let's see. Man, this shit is just straight bonk. For the first one, we got his name's Nick, who dropped this. Nick Glassberg. He said, for tonight's live stream, please review my concert photography portfolio. Gave us his website. He says, feel free to be harsh, and any input on how I can improve it to get booked more is welcome. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tune in live as it's 4 a.m. in my time zone. God damn. So you guys can see his website right now. So I think overall, I think he wants to just know the experience from his site. That's cool. You just click in it. The fuck is that? Fire? How's that fire so perfect? Seen these, Dave? I really like that fire shot. That shit was money. This photo's a really good one to start the thread with, in my opinion. Yeah, you got some good shots in here, dude. I don't know if it's just because if it's my monitor, if it's just the website, but some of them seem kind of soft to me. But a majority of them are like, this shot is fucking A1. I kind of want more action from the people in the middle, but like this moment is super tight. Honestly, just them staring out to the crowd. The fire is fucking crazy. What do you think, Dave? His main question is, he's trying to get more jobs. Can this help him sell getting booked? I think there's a lot of photos in here too, which I'm only looking at live music. You have landscape, architecture, aerial, people, commercial. I'll get to those in a second, but just going off the live photos, there's quite a bit, but some of them seem like this is kind of random to have a flyer in here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe I'll just get fucking closer to this shit, but then I'm probably mad close to the camera.
It sounds nice when you get up close.
I know. Damn. I need the fucking arm thing to like come over my hand. But yeah, I think like this
Whoa.
It's fine. Back here is good. I think like this flyer being in here is kind of strange to add to the mix of it. But like some of these photos like seem slightly soft. That might be my monitor.
Yeah, I think it's the monitor. I don't want to, because I think we also said that about audio one time, and then the audio was messed up.
Right.
But I think my opinion on the site is, especially with that Chainsmoker shot starting out, I think like the aesthetic of your site looks very professional. It's very clean, and that's why I think it's so important for people to have sites. Speaking of like coming from a person who doesn't have a site up right now, but like I think if when you send this to someone and they come here, it really gives off a professional vibe, which I think is important, because
these shots are amazing.
You really only, especially for music, these shots are awesome. I feel like with music, you really gotta if you can sell them like 10 really fire images, or just enough for them to know that you're out here working, then you got it. As long as those images are fire and you keep updating them with your most fire ones. So I think like for the live music part, just make sure that every single photo there that you're showing off full screen is one of your absolute top 15 best. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I agree. And I also think, honestly, that landscape thread is so fucking sick that you should move those so that your order is landscape first and architect. Because that like the live music kind of looks to me like you've been limited on your options of what you're able to shoot. Like you only have, it'd be cool to see maybe you staging out some photos with some of the artists. Also, I don't know if that's like your main clientele, but the money is going to be like, if you show these architecture shots, these are fucking amazing. Like that shit of this building, like if you started kind of targeting different businesses that you could, oh shit. And I meant to keep track of the chat. You want to keep track of the chat? Can you see it from here?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not showing up on this shit. the architecture stuff's so clean and shows like the versatility, and then being able to go to live music and just seeing banger after banger after banger. If you get your best shots first, like pick all your best shots, I think that's fucking great. And honestly, like maybe even your people stuff, like try to explore even a little bit more creativity with your portraits, because it's showing that you can handle portraits. This looks like some branded shit, so this is good. But like I think like this stuff to me shows more detail than, and because you're tighter and you kind of bringing the photo to life a little bit more than this stuff, because it just kind of seems like she's outside and super easy to get this shot, where this kid is a little tougher. Shooting kids is harder, so it shows your talent and being able to get this kid to focus and be able to get a clean shot. This is great.
Yeah, I think he asked in the context of getting booked for music specifically.
Which
and,
yeah, maybe
in which
that's
case,
the case.
But obviously, like if I'm hiring you and I see your music stuff, and then I'm like, let me check out his other stuff, and I go to your landscape and it's insane, like that's a win. So that's dope. And then you just want to make sure your front. The first thing they're going to want to know is, can this person shoot shows, right?
Right.
So you just want to make sure those first, like, the impression of your site is already awesome. So those first 10 images, I'll probably get rid of the flyer and make sure your absolute best 10 photos you've ever shot are the first 10 that they're scrolling to, because if they scroll 10 times and all 10 photos are amazing, you probably got it down with the way this looks, and of course, like depending on how you reach out to them and your professionality and all that stuff. But like some of this landscape stuff is awesome.
Yeah, you got some fire ass landscape shots.
So for the guys, sorry to interrupt. For the guys for the chat, you drop your link in the boardroom channel of our Patreon Discord, and that's how we get the link to review. I know some of you guys are asking, and that's how we prioritize the people who are in the goddamn homies tier for this.
Yep.
So if you're just spectating, that's how you're able to get your work reviewed.
And that, if you don't know about it, that Discord is through our Patreon page. The Patreon page is how we fund Black Window Cream. So you would be contributing to us by tossing your links in there. So definitely join the Discord if you haven't yet. The link is in the bio, as well as just jointhehomies.com. So another thing real quick while I'm looking at this, just symmetry. For these shots are really cool, but try to focus on aligning your shots. Like there's a lot of it's not that much headspace and a lot of like footer space, if you want to call it that, but just trying to kind of square up your shots and focus on symmetry with these. This is so sidebar for what your question was, but I just noticed like here it just seems to make sure that everything's in space.
Yeah, like
and
this one has better symmetry, but
it's a little
some
crooked.
of the other ones yeah, exactly, but it's super key, especially for aerial like top down shots. Especially I feel like symmetry is what really sells the photo.
Ooh, dog, you got some great shit.
It seems like maybe he works a lot in this space and he wants to move more into music. And
yeah, I know you're not in the live stream because you're asleep, but let us know what you do. You should tell us in the Discord once you check this out, because a lot of these product shots are super, super clean. Like this is the shit that people are going to want to pay money for. And if I'm being honest, shooting live shows is fun, but you're not going to make that much money shooting shit. This is the stuff that brands will throw a bunch of bags at. I want to check the chat out real quick, just to see what everyone's saying. Let's see. Ian asked a question about where you can drop a link to his work. The VBC asked about that. Cool. So you guys should know now. Demo is happening. Glad you guys are all in the stream tonight. Builders in real estate are always looking for photographers. That's so facts. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone. A lot of the real estate agents always have like their teams dialed in, but like this shit for a restaurant, if you could go find like a 5-star restaurant and just start attacking content like this and pitch them with decks, that shit's so fucking nice. So sidebar to like what you're asking. All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. Who do we got next? Jesse Reed said, here's a link to my most recent demo reel. Would love to have it critiqued. You got it. So let me make sure we're full screen on this shit and make that motherfucker HD. Toronto creative agency, inspirational as fuck demo reel. I hope that's what that means, because that's tight.
So without your confidence, you will be taken advantage of. So work on that first before you step into this business and let people try and mold you. Work on your confidence. That's where the power lies.
Don't listen to anybody. Have a dream that you can defend and live that dream. And don't, listen to people say you can't do it. Maybe your time is not now. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta believe in you.
Follow your passion, for sure. Find something you love and give everything you have into it.
There's no limit to what you can achieve, and someone will go out there and do it, so why not you?
And then after that, just keep your head down and keep working, because it's very easy to feel like you're spinning in your wheels sometimes, but if you just don't feel sorry for yourself, and you just, because everybody feels sorry for themselves, especially artists, it can be tough some days, but if you just put that aside and really just try to work on the next song or how to make the next show as good as it can be, then you'll keep moving forward.
I would tell them to try to do as much of whatever it is they're trying to do themselves, and to not wait for people to give them permission to do the thing they want to do. To just find a way to do it. And if that means making a movie on your phone, then do that.
I'd say wait for magic luck to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do not good advice. Put your own effort in until it's handed to you on a silver platter.
Wait for someone to knock on your door and hand you an opportunity. There you go.
Cool. It's a lot of information. I don't know if he's in here. That was Jesse's video. Ian said, can't drop our websites here. No, it's just for Patreon members. Everyone can watch or whatever, but to drop your links, you have to do it on the Patreon page or on the Discord page. So definitely slide in there if you want to participate. But anyway, let's see. That video was a lot of Jesse, I liked it, but I think overall, first note, my biggest note is you have so much different stuff packed into this, and it's almost like this inspirational video, but it's about a bunch of different topics, which kind of makes it hard. I like the idea of having all these different people say cool lines, but it's to a bunch of different type of content. You hear someone talking about chasing dreams or whatever while I'm looking at some salmon. And it's kind of just, it pulls me all in different directions. It's hard to focus on what I'm looking for. So overall, I think the idea of your guys' agency reel, this may work if you're trying to show a broad span of what you do. I don't know if it might help to put it into sections. You know what I'm saying? If it's food in one section and then we sway into interviews in another section, and then it's quick. Because sometimes you're also showing a lot of trick shots, right? You're looping into a shot of food, and then you're whipping around it again and doing some other stuff. And when I see food, I want to see juicy, nice, well lit, fire ass versions of the food, not get in and get out. The whole ass idea of seeing salmon specifically. That's all I'm going off of because I remember it. Is that I wanna know what that shit is gonna look like, and I wanna taste it from seeing the video. I wanna go buy that shit, So in this shot right here,
especially artists, it can be tough some days.
It's cool. It's a cool shot to be able to 360 around it, but I really want to see a fucking macro shot of how fire that shit looks, how well it's cooked, how juicy it looks. You know what I mean? I think getting in and out of the shot so quick, it almost kind of kills some of your shots. And honestly, I think maybe you could trim this video down to a minute and a half. I think you get rid of a lot of footage and just pull your best shots possible. That helps sell what your target goal of a client is, if that makes sense. I think, if you're looking for shooting cars, let's dive into cars more, show things that could be related to car type commercials. But you seem to kind of just do it all. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think I understand where you're coming from, because you want to show just how broad your spectrum is, and y'all do everything, which I do think is tight. I agree that since you're showing me so many things without knowing anything about you, it takes me till halfway through the video that it's oh, okay, they do all this type of stuff. They do interviews, they do food, they do cars, they do music, like all this stuff, right? And I feel like what you said about breaking it up, like maybe if you did break it up into sections, so it was like when you show me you guys cover food, like I get a real solid punch of like sick food shots, and then we go into music, and then we go into cars, and you can kind of tell the story of like the different markets you guys provide for, maybe. I think that it's like a real baked into like an inspirational piece, which kind of like is making me think about two different things at once. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
But I feel like you have so much stuff. It's like I agree. Like if it's hard to me to really gauge that you're awesome at shooting food when I see one shot and then I'm looking at a car, or if to know that you're really fire shooting cars, I only see one shot and then I'm looking at a guitar. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe if you strung some of those together. One thing I will say is the opening was really dope. The opening was tight, and then right after the opening of like all these 6 shots, you guys you like color distorted, like did a Lumafade or something like that, that right there.
Yep.
Which, and then it's this shot. You know what I mean? Like I love these shots. Like if you would string a lot of those shots together and then string some other similar shots together, maybe you would get a better flow in terms of like the viewer understanding what they're looking at.
Because it's showing you like technical. Like I could see that you're technically creative and capable of achieving interesting shots. This shot right here, it's so weird looking, but it's so interesting. And then you're showing this, and it's so interesting. It's clean and crispy. And then you go into this guy walking and talking, in which anyone could shoot in their living room. So maybe saving these shots for your real estate section later, but trying to really get the person hooked and engaged by all these colorful, cool shots. You have this ballerina upside down doing some wild shit. You know what I mean? Like all these shots are so A1. And then you kind of just cut. There was like one shot of food that just turned me off right away in the beginning.
I think also something to think about is
this doesn't seem like it's lit well enough to like, you know what I mean? It happened so quick and the rack happened so quick. I couldn't live in it where it didn't seem like I said earlier, like a juicy fire ass shot of food. Like I want to see something. So maybe you have to cut this shot and just find your best moments of food. And if this isn't it, go ask someone. If you feel like you only have a couple of shots of food to work with, but you know that's a market you want to hit, go link up with and collaborate with the restaurant and try to just say like, yo, could you guys just spend a day making food? I just need a half afternoon. I'm going to rent all the lights I need. I'm going to rent sliders. I'm going to get all this shit. And I want to shoot food the best way I possibly can. And then use that just for your reel, just to get other people to like buy into you shooting food. You might not have a lot to work with right now, but you're trying to pack it into this reel. I think you kind of eliminate it.
I think one thing to think about too is I think since you do have so many projects and you work with so many people, which is tight, but I also don't think you have to feel pressured to like throw literally every one shot from every project you've done or throw everything in, because like if you're sending this to someone and you have like just amazing shots throughout, like I think they're going to believe that you can shoot anything, right? And if there's a specific, like let's say you're targeting restaurants, if you go to our morning roast about reels with Mike Prentu, and we did a live stream about this too, it would benefit you to, instead of trying to throw food in there just to show you shoot food, you could have a 1 minute food reel with just your best food shots, or a 1 minute car reel with just your car shots, and be targeting those specific to your clients. And then you can have one of this, which is like your overall like landing page reel that has everything, but maybe you won't feel so stressed to throw everything in there because you're trying to show everything that you do.
Right, I agree. I saw Ryan posted. In my opinion, there were a lot of cheesy transitions. As a video creator, I noticed it a lot more. Maybe the general public client, like those kinds of transitions. I do think reels should be 1 minute these days. Yeah, I think overall it's like the best thing you could possibly do is try to share what you do in a minute or less, because we're all so trained to buy into things within a minute. Like our capacity is only a minute. Like you need to play off of Instagram, like Twitter, things that are focused on bite-sized content, and hook them and sell them within a minute. But you also can create things targeting specific clients who will spend 10 minutes if they have to watching whatever your video is to decide if they're about to drop thousands of dollars on your content. So it goes both ways. If you're, in a niche market and someone, public speakers, for instance, if someone's looking for a public speaker and they want to spend 10 grand to book someone to speak to their audience, they're going to look at every public speaker. They're probably going to watch loads of their content to get a feel of who they are and what they do, and if they can be a good fit for them. And that goes in all directions. That goes for a restaurant trying to find someone, they're going to want to see what your work is. If they're someone that's trying to book you for a wedding, you know, they're going to do the exact same shit. Is this person good at shooting weddings? I don't know. Let's go see all the videos that they've shot at weddings before. So they're going to want to look at that stuff, and a minute might be too quick. It might be too much to like take in within 1 minute. So in those cases, it's better to have a longer form reel, which in my opinion, you should make something that's short and sweet and can be catching, and then say, hey, I have a longer version as well. If you'd like to see more, here you go. And here's some examples of like the full piece that I did for this wedding, these 3 weddings that I did last year, or whatever, you know, if you want to chop it up to weddings. But I think that it's just kind of finding your niche of like what you're trying to sell, or grouping things in categories. Let's put all of the interviews in one category. Just because you got Seth Rogen on camera, which is cool. It's cool to say you guys shot Seth Rogen. That's a good look. But is that video wow factor for me to know? Like, does that change my opinion of if I'm going to book you? Because I think that your technical shots are so much more important than that. And then by knowing that you can shoot all of these various things, a car, this, and that, I should know that you could do interviews. Or you just break it up into a section where I just see interview after interview after interview, and it's just motivational, and then you're out and you're back into the next thing, which is landscape shots. You know what I mean? You can find a variety of ways to do that. But overall, it's like you have a lot of good stuff to work with. I think it's just about condensing it and getting the best pieces of content that are going to work for your video and for your clients. But you know your clients better than all of us, so this may be this may be all you need, you know? Like a resume, I think you should tailor your demo to the job. Totally agree. Yeah, because when did we say, was this last live stream? Was this with JR?
We did it with JR, and then we obviously had a morning roast with Mike.
Yeah, so with JR, we had talked about, you know, creating specific pieces, and same with Mike. Mike more so. If you listen to Mike's morning roast, it's like we talk about looking at, you know, he has a lot of car clients. He'll work with Audi, he'll work with Ford, he'll work with whoever you could name. I don't know enough car companies, but he'll make something specific that just showcases what he's capable of shooting when it comes to shooting cars. So if someone comes along and is like, have you ever shot, you know, fast cars before? Yeah, here, check out my demo reel for this. Yeah, here, check out this, et cetera, et cetera. Like being able to have a list of things that can go in place for what people are you know what I mean? Like if someone's looking for corporate videos, corporate sit-down interview videos, it might be nice to show like a video where you see a bunch of sit-down interviews, well lit, great audio sounding, and a mixture of that with drone shots and slow motion shots around office spaces and things that make it show that you can go shoot a corporate video really well. They might not care that you can shoot food or that you can shoot concerts. And honestly, if I'm looking to book you for a show, if I work at a venue and I'm looking for talent that can come in and shoot my next show, I want to see all your best shots of concerts. Because if you only have 6 in this video and the rest of it's focused on cars and food and interviews and all this shit, and that's not what I'm trying to book you for, I might not ever book you, you know? He said, that's really great advice. Thanks so much. Definitely going to apply all these notes while cutting the next one. Yeah, totally.
Type in the importance of a demo reel. I think that's the name of the morning roast.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Feet, Mike Prentu.
Yeah, if you just search that shit, it'll pop up. It's in the playlist too. What's going on? No one's on Discord right now?
Go on.
That's 2. Question, when you guys, question about the stream, just because we like to try to figure out how to make this better every single time. When it comes to live streaming for you guys, what's the best way for you to find out that we're going live? We've been going back and forth on a few different options and trying to think of it. We've been going live in YouTube. We were doing it private just for the Patreon members. We opened it up publicly so everyone else could watch. Hoping that you guys find it enticing enough to want to share your work with us on Patreon. Maybe we take the streams to the Facebook group and do it that way. We could test that out sometime. How you guys liking these, and what do you think we could do to make it better? Because I'd be interested to see that. Also, everyone's slow to update and drop videos, so if you want us to watch a video, you just drop a link in the comment and I'll copy paste it in real quick and check it out. Freebies to y'all for tuning in. What's everyone else working on this week? We just shot, I directed some stuff for The Sims, which is cool. Dave got some fire-ass photos. We're going to be putting that together with Kavika over the week. YouTube notification brought me here. When it's public, I get the notification here on YouTube. Okay, that's good. Did you guys do the thing where you turn on the notifications? Like, so that you get notified whenever we drop a new video? I don't even know how the fuck you do that on here. Alarm on my phone when you drop the dates and times. Can't miss these live streams. Too much good info. Yeah, see, I was thinking maybe we start using the like mail list or whatever the fuck, sending out newsletters, and the newsletters could have like iCal links in them too, so you guys could just auto put it in. You would have that all kind of situated. We're new to the live stream game, so we're trying to make them better and better every time, but I'm catching it from Discord, but sometimes I get lost in all the conversations on my end. I can catch it when I tap into Discord though. I got here from Discord. Going to join the Patreon soon. YouTube brought me here. Hey, that's awesome, Evan. Thank you for checking this out. Yeah, we're setting it up, and hopefully it keeps getting better and better. I think everyone seems to enjoy this shit. If you join the Patreon, definitely download the Discord app. That's what we've been using a lot on our computers and our phones. Just having it kind of open all the time. You're getting notifications whenever people are chatting, and we're just like actively in it all the time. Like I'm in it all the time. So if you ever have questions, just drop them and I'm there. So, but I think that's an easy way to get alerted for upcoming streams and shit, which is pretty cool.
We could you could watch the new Travis video and just like break it down.
Which Travis Scott?
Like,
I haven't seen that yet.
I'm just thinking if we need something to do, let's chill and watch this video.
Highest in the room. I like some of those effects, like the smoke out the end and the fucking clouds is dope as shit. Yo, shout out to my boy Tim Dodd, Everyday Astronaut. Wait, Dave sent it in, or
no?
I wish Dave.
If
Dave
it was my
Myers.
video, and he's like, this video.
Yeah, Dave Myers is like, no. Dave Myers, if he submitted it for like review and critique, that'd be the tightest shit ever. I'd be like, tight, you're a Patreon member, sick. Now we were just killing time. We wanted to watch it. What the fuck is this shit? Oh my god, bro, Linda, how is this on my? That's my you and I.
The guy,
clicking all kinds of shit.
You should comment.
Dave Myers wants to critique his work. I wish.
Sarcastic.
That'd be so funny. Now we were just watching it because I hadn't seen it yet.
What were you doing about Everyday Astronaut?
Oh yeah, Tim, bro. So Tim is my homie. If you guys don't know this guy, you should check out his channel. It's really interesting. So I've been a fan lately of just checking out channels and like folks, dude, what the fuck? Why is lynda.com showing up? That's crazy. Checking out different channels and like paying attention to it. So Tim started this channel called Everyday Astronaut a while back. I had him on the podcast. He was literally, I think, like the third or fourth guest I ever had on the Black Window Cream podcast. And he blew up this channel starting from scratch. His YouTube channel had no followers, nothing. He bought this astronaut suit. You can see it right here in the thumbnail or like the top part of his banner. But he bought this astronaut suit like 2013, 14, something like that. And just started taking photos of it, and the photos went mad viral. Like he would do all these different photos where he'd like include these little space facts and shit, and it popped off. And then he switched over to doing videos and started building up his YouTube channel like super slow. Like in the first year, I think he maybe got like 1,000 or 1,500 subscribers, and then it started popping off, and he started really focusing on the content and building out the content. And now he's almost at 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. But he just did this new video where he dropped an interview with Elon Musk about that new rocket thing that SpaceX just dropped. And I don't know shit about this, but I like tuned in because it's so interesting. And the video literally has 1.3 million views already. It was like the top, I think it got to the number 9 on the top trending videos of the day on YouTube. But this is like, Tim is like the epitome of building a channel from scratch and just showing like you putting in work into something, your idea can super pay off. Like it's fucking crazy how much time he's spent building and developing this channel, and he's been able to like fully build Evan just joined. All right, cool.
What's up, Evan?
But Tim's built a channel from nothing, like, and now he's getting millions of views, sometimes 500,000 of views, like out of nowhere, and it's built up his entire. Look at that, 8,000 comments, man. He's built such a wild channel. But anyway, Evan just joined the Patreon. Shout out to Evan for joining Patreon. He just said his portfolio. I can't talk. His portfolio is right here. Going to the link. So when we get to his website, what do you, Evan, when you share this, please let us know, like, or just talk in the comments. What are you interested in us reviewing? Do you just want us like a general response to like your website, or do you have anything specific you're looking for a critique from or feedback? We get to his website. You enter photographer. I'm guessing. I like this layout. Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know. See what happens if you click the photos. Okay, it's just
I thought it was gonna give me like some info or something.
Right.
It's a cool website.
Yeah, the site's tight for sure. Like that homepage was dope, and your logo is dope, and the color scheme is dope.
Yeah, I love your fucking logo, bro. Just the brush stroke
Like
on the top and the bottom.
The aesthetic of it definitely draws me in. So now it's just about like putting, like we said this earlier. Like I think it's about making sure like it's just like Instagram too or whatever. Like the first 20 photos in the scroll, like it doesn't even matter if you took it a year ago, if you took it yesterday. The first 10 photos in the scroll should be your best, like your absolute best photos. I think like the people are gonna give you a couple scrolls, and you want all those photos to be amazing.
Evan was in the Dutch Bros contest.
Fire.
Yeah, these photos are cool. Yeah, I agree. I think that like the landing page is so far, right? We enter to learn more about you. What I would like is I would actually like to learn more about you, but also this can work in your favor. You create this site, and I'm assuming when someone's like, you do photography, you have the ability just to link them to the site and be like, yeah, check out all my work. It's right here, right? But it also is the exact same thing as your Instagram. So the importance of a website is that you can kind of set up and you puppeteer people with the website to be able to get certain things that you want them to do, right? So say you want your client to book you, you could take them to your Instagram, they'll see all your work, and they could reach out to you that way, or they could contact you on your website. But maybe you take your website one step farther and teach us who you are. What's something that you do?
Let's click contact.
Contact's just like a regular contact page.
Okay, yeah. So I think here is where you could have a contact form. You could also be like, this could be about or whatever contact, or if it says, and you could tell your name, and you could give a good blurb about like what you do and where you're from, what you specialize in, blah blah blah. I think that could help, because yeah, it's like, since you do have like a tight, alias, which is dope. I wish I had one, but you still want to put a human aspect to this, so that when someone's hiring you, they're like, okay, I'm hiring Evan, blah blah blah, and he does this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's what Dean said too. He goes, yeah, layout's unique. I'd say maybe add a little bio or something before the photos. Even it would be cool to have someone create. I'm sure you know some videographers in your city. It'd be cool to have someone follow you around and capture BTS of you kind of capturing some of these moments, and you make a little piece where you tell us in like a minute a little like documentary about you and like what you do. But honestly, if I'm going to hire you, I just know that you can shoot shows. I don't know where you're from. I don't know if photography is all you do, is the only thing you care about. Concert photography, like I think an About Me page is very crucial for a website, because again, I can see all the same shit on your Instagram, but I can't learn about you unless maybe you shared a story once but I missed it. You know what I mean? Like I want a permanent place where I can know more about you.
Also, I think my biggest like I'm super down with the site, like the way it looks and the scroll. I just think, so you got like 39 photos in here or something. I would just make sure, like I said, is this like your best photo? Like these especially these 6, this should be your 6 best photos you've ever taken in your life.
I agree.
And then go all the way down. You know what I mean? And if like, obviously not in chronological order, you want to put like a spacing to it, but when they come to this page, these 6 photos should blow me away right off the bat, because that's how you really draw them in, and then they'll scroll down. And if 39 of those photos aren't all the best, like for example this one right here, the crowd's kind of blown out or whatever.
Yeah, I would get rid of that.
Like you can get rid of that shot, because you don't need to show literally every, like one shot from every show you've shot. I think it's really about they don't need to know, you know, like, oh, that, like, they don't need to know about that shot. They just need to know about the 20 or 25, 15 of your absolute best photos you've ever taken, because if they just see 15 amazing photos, in my head, it's like, oh, this guy's fire. You know what I mean? The more photos I see that I don't like necessarily will give me a better, like a bigger context. And then as you build your portfolio, you know, because it was the same thing with me when I started out. Like, I maybe had shot like 10 shows, but I just literally the best photos I possibly take, so it looks like I'm incredible. You know what I mean?
I personally like this shot just looks like it's just any rap show at any local dive bar. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this looks like. Compared to this shot right here, right above it, screams concert, like screams production, screams that you know how to handle a photo in that environment. Like, you don't want to get booked by these guys. That's not who your target audience is that you're trying to shoot shows for. You want to shoot for the bigger productions and the ones that could probably afford you. But yeah, I think I agree. I would try to find your top 15 photos and just show those. So this scroll is just straight banger, 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 banger. And then the next thing you want to puppeteer them into doing is looking into who you are. And the next thing, maybe you want to go another step and say, here's what I can get hired for, or hire me. And maybe your contact page is your hire me page, where they go here and it says like, hey, I'm available to travel. I'm from here, but I'm always in LA. I'm always in London. I'm always wherever you're at. Let me know more about you so I can understand that I can book you for my next job if it happens to pull up. Because the hard part is just, I don't know anything about you. I don't know where you're from, and you might be great, but if you don't live in LA, I'll probably never hit you up because I can't realistically use you. But if you're in New York and your shit's fire, I could drop your website in my little, you know, Rolodex of creators I like to use. Next time I'm in New York and I need a concert photographer, I'll be like, oh yeah, this dude's dope. I'll hit him up, you know, because then just from looking at the site. But now you're making me hit your contact page to ask you where you're from, which is an unnecessary step, in my opinion. You know what I'm talking about?
I think another, that you don't want people to have to do this just to know who you are, for sure. I think also too, another step you can go, because like I'm with like the minimalist. Like, whenever I had my site, I was like just minimal words. But I do think it's important sometimes, like, if you do want to go another step, he talked about the about page, but you could even show like a small body of work that you've done for clients before. You know what I mean? So like Fat Joe Spotify showcase. I'm just making some shit up, right? And then you show like a small gallery of photos in the video that you shot for that client, so that a client can know like, okay, he's worked for Fat Joe and did this, or maybe it's for this venue or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who you've worked for or whatever, but you could go a step further, and this is like your absolute best stuff ever.
But even these,
and then you go further.
I would even try to cater some of your shots too. Just we fuck with you, like your works. You got some work. We're just trying to help give some advice too, so don't take any offense to it. But like in this shot, maybe by tossing in Photoshop and living in Photoshop for a few hours, you could find a way to take this arm and put it here in front of this fucking guy, and just hide this ugly, unnecessary person. Because my focus should be him. It should be Fat Joe. It shouldn't be this manager or whatever on a cell phone. So trying to find ways to just boost your images, you can really, hide and make your photos even better with like just simple tweaks like that. But I think that would help. I don't know, I just noticed that.
You would need like content aware fill for the behind the arm, but
just get rid of this.
Yeah, you could actually probably remove that dude. Honestly, in Photoshop now, you can remove that dude.
Yeah. But that's just like one note. But like some of these stuff, you just want to make sure your best shots possible are at the top.
Basically, I think there are shots in here, like as you build your portfolio and keep working, you're going to have shots that are going to be better than the ones you have, and you should just replace those and keep moving and keep evolving your site constantly, because this is going to be the shit that lands you the job. So I would just really look at these 39 photos and be like, what's the 20 best ones, and let me leave all the ones that are kind of and just take them out, because the higher percentage of photos that people think are fire is what's going to land you the job. You'll get to shoot another show. You'll get better photos. You'll replace the old ones that you don't like, and then your shit's just going to keep moving.
Right. Damo says, what are some good tips for building a channel other than so he's going back to Tim's thing. Hold on, let me make sure I need a call to action. That's a good one, Aisha. Damn, man, love the critics for websites. I can't afford the goddamn homies tier, but I'm willing to pay all $10 right now for a website critique. Well, then join the homies tier, bro, or the homies for sure tier. We got a stream. We're literally doing a stream on Thursday, so everything else we'll be doing that one. Homies for sure tier is what we do on Thursdays. So Thursdays.
He's saying that's what he's in right now.
Yeah, he said he's in the homies
for sure tier.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so we'll share us that shit on Thursday. We'll check it out on Thursday for sure. Evan, but overall, great work, bro. But yeah, definitely take those. And the hardest part about website, this is why I got rid of mine, because I didn't do this enough and I need to rebuild that shit, is update it. Like, let me just see. Let's see. I'm sure that you, like, this shot isn't on your thing. Why aren't any, like, this shot's fucking ill. Like, why don't, you know what I mean? Like, try to start working some of your new stuff into your website, because people are going to either go here or they're going to your website. So you want to make sure that these all kind of cover the grounds, but there may be stuff you don't put on your Instagram that you do put on your website. There may be stuff you put on your website you don't put on your Instagram, but just kind of make it easier for me to want to hire you or understand how to hire you.
Yeah, I think updating is super important, especially when you're still like building your body of work. Like, let me see that Skrillex shot right there below. This one. Go left. As I think like that side portrait is pretty dope. And like that, like if that's not on your site, then that's, you know, if you're trying to get hired for EDM, like people seeing Skrillex, a headshot of Skrillex, like that obviously does something. I think
what
you
should
should
kind of
just
lens are you shooting on?
you should reserve, like, your Instagram is where you throw everything to show people what you're up to, and then your website is like only the top makes it, you know, because your Instagram is cool, it's just like you're running lists, but your website should be like your shining like wall of your best photos.
No problem. Thanks for
joining with us, bro.
Thanks for fucking with us, boy. Going back to Damo's question, he was talking, I think, in regards to Tim's YouTube channel that we were showing you guys. What are some good tips for building a channel other than content alone? What are some good ways to spread your content for more people to see? That's a good question, my friend. We out here trying to do that every single day.
Yeah, we're trying to build one ourselves.
I just think it's consistency. Like, for Tim took to YouTube and focused solely on building an audience on YouTube, and he went after it hard. And I think by constantly providing top valued content for YouTube, it, in his case, worked for him because he was able to find his audience and grow within that audience. He becomes like the GOAT for that specific form of content that he's putting out. But I think that's the goal. Like, for us, it's, you know, we were doing the podcast game for so long. At first, it started with iTunes, and I just focused on putting out audio. Then we went to bringing in a video element, and now we have the Morning Roast, which tries to add even more value, which I think it's a little shorter version of a podcast, which is cool, and it's a little different than interviews, which is good. And now we're really focusing on bringing value to YouTube by bringing in like the in the field episodes and things like that. So to me, it's like if we start putting more energy and time in building in the field episodes, they're shorter bit content that I think are shareable, and it's something people are searching for. It teaches you something right away. So for instance, like we're doing one right now with Danilo. He was just on the podcast. His episode came out this Sunday, and Nikos went behind the scenes with him on Friday, I think, and shot his show with the Chainsmokers in Chicago. So we're going to do an in the field episode and solely talk about how to go about building out content or how to strategize and plan your shots when you're doing a show. Like, that's going to be like the main focus of that video.
You're asking about like how to get your content seen by more people, and like we obviously are working with that every day. And I feel like the in the field, like, to answer what we're doing in terms of in the field, I feel like it's like we're creating videos that are topic based, that are searchable, and that people can stumble upon and find Black with No Cream, and then find like the library of content that we have. Whereas like maybe podcasts aren't the best thing for people to discover us. And so our current strategy is seeing if we punch out these YouTube videos, people will see them better. And so maybe if you're building a channel, it's about kind of like, you know, same thing that Josh does. Josh has been here before, like Josh and Adi Show. They make videos that are timely, based on topics that people care about.
Yeah.
You know, so that way, like, if you're constantly making videos that have their finger on the pulse, and you're making videos about topics that people care about, then like more than your direct audience will hopefully find you, and that's how you build an audience.
Yeah.
You know, it's great to say. It's obviously hard as fuck.
It's so hard. It's time consuming.
Yeah.
It's time consuming, and I think, but the main goal is just staying on it and trying to focus on how you can distribute that content and put the word out there. Like, we struggle with it every day because we focus so much on getting these podcast episodes, and then we realize that there's a whole audience on the Facebook group that has no idea that the podcast episodes even exist. So how do we reach them? Now we're going to try fucking with mailing lists and trying to show people that there's a lot of great content. We talked about making shorter snippets out of the podcast that are like 6 minutes on a specific topic from the podcast that could be shared on YouTube so people can see those, and maybe that'll entice you to want to watch the full thing. But we know for a fact our YouTube channel won't grow exponentially if it's just podcast episodes, because I'm a podcast consumer. Dave is too. And most of the time when we listen to podcasts, it's through an app, because we put this shit on our phones, we hit play, we go into our audio or our headphones, and we just fucking clean the house or do whatever. And then that's when we consume podcasts, or while we're traveling, driving a car, whatever it is. But I'm not on YouTube watching YouTube video podcast versions, but we want to have it there just for those who do like seeing a face to the name. Like my mom likes to fucking see who I'm talking to get an idea of what they look like, just to build character behind the person. But so we have it, and it does exist, but it's also that's not the only thing that's going to help our YouTube channel to grow. So now we're focusing on what is that? How will we be able to develop our channel? How will we be able to like maximize the audience experience and give them something there? And then by default, if you see a cool in the field episode or a tutorial on how to do make a music video or whatever it is, you may find the podcast which you didn't even know about, and then that might get you to realize like, oh shit, this also exists on Spotify, this also exists on iTunes, and now you've just dove into the content, became a fan, which is really cool. So we'll take a couple more questions before we sign out of here. There's some more shit. Scroll down real quick.
Is this stuff?
Right. Damo says, I hate the Google Ad format. Yeah, the YouTube snippets definitely get you wanting more. Yeah, for sure. Fungozolia said, a few questions while you wait for more videos from the Discord. A year from now, what do you two hope the Black with No Cream community looks like? In your opinion, what's your most slept on podcast? It's a great question. I think a year from now, like, we're really pushing to education. We want to find a way to make it even easier to find resources and provide value from, my Rolodex. It's like I have access to so many amazing creators in the industry who don't have time to try to provide value to people like you guys, myself included. So I think us doing the legwork and building ways to share what these people do or how they do it and provide tips and value that way is super, super crucial. So we're really hoping to push in that lane over the next year, but also building the experience on the podcast so it's always what it is. You can always expect to have an interview. You can always expect to have a great in-depth interview with a talented creator. Our guests are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better. So those will always be there. The morning roast will dive into different topics deeper. We have the option now to be able to bring in new different guests on the morning roast, which is cool, because before I only would bring a guest in if we were going to talk to them for an hour and a half for a podcast. But now we can bring in someone specific to talk on something specific, which is cool, and we've experimented with that last month. So yeah, we really plan on growing it that way. In my opinion, I think it's really gonna help. But honestly, taking YouTube to another level we've been working so hard on it. Like Dave's looking right now through our feed, and this is just an example. Look at how our old thumbnails used to look. This is how we used to do the podcast episodes. And now our whole new look is completely different. We've worked with a graphic designer to build out new logos. We created our own morning roast logo.
I was just searching through to figure out slept on. This one is like, if you're kind of new to Black with No Cream and you haven't gone back to like day one shit, go listen to this one 100%. I remember I was still in San Antonio. I hadn't interned for Ben yet, and this one like lit the biggest fire under my ass. It was insane. Like, I've never been so hyped before after I listened to this one. I don't know what it was, but it resonated with me. And then Mike Parentu, we talked about him for real, but his is 59 and probably slept on because maybe he's not big on social media or whatever. But his story is literally, like, we always say the story is insane, but this dude's story was literally insane. Like, the way he was able to finesse his way into like massive budgets, and the way he just leveled up his career based off just him kind of talking himself up. Right. And directed like documentary for Red Bull across over the seas, and just continued to just kind of say yes to situations he didn't know, like, that he wasn't prepared for, and kind of just figured it out as he went on, and now he's just like a legend regardless. So definitely check this one out. It's episode 59. Those are two that I would recommend.
Those are definitely great episodes to check out. Love that I stumbled into your channel a few weeks ago through Cash Bunny, slowly eating through your backlog. Hell yeah. Appreciate that. He also said, what's your, when new creators are popping off, what's the easiest mistake they can avoid? What's your creative 5-year goal? Man, there's a lot of good questions. New creators popping off, I think you can get stuck in a niche. That's always a bummer. You could just be the person that does this, which also is a good thing, to be really good at something. But I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to, out here it's just staying relevant, right? Like you always want to be getting new jobs and staying active, but I think if you're good at building a network, you will continue to get clients. That's probably the hardest thing to do, and crack that code is very, very difficult. And a lot of people struggle with that. Like, you know, we talk about it all the time, but I've been lucky enough that I've built a lot of good relationships with a lot of different people that all add up to being different clients and potential work. So I have that there if I need it, right? Like I always will have an intense amount of work that I can do if I need that work, or people I could bounce off ideas with or pitch or work, you know, collaborate on a new job, or just to see if they're in need of someone to help out with the job. And a lot of people don't think like that. They think that, oh, cool, I just posted a video and got reposted by this artist and now I'm famous or whatever the fuck. It doesn't work like that. You have to, I've spent years building my network, which is not, you have to be able to get in the right places to build your network. Ooh, Marcus Frisky in this shit. What up, M. Frisk? Everyone follow Marcus's channel. This guy is a motherfucking beast. Justin's in here too. Can you make a video tutorial on how to make slime? Shout out to Justin. Justin's been editing our podcast since fucking forever. He's a Canadian beast. But look at, so going back to this, just so you guys can see. This is what our podcast, this is what our thumbnails used to look like, to just show some growth here. Speaking of Marcus Frisky, here's his podcast that we did with Marcus. You should definitely watch this episode as well. Marcus is slept on as far as podcasts that didn't get no views. Watch this one. This shit's fucking clutch. He's got tons of good insight. Marcus leads all content at EA. He's a fucking beast. This is his gaming channel, and he does a lot of gaming shit on here. Marcus, all right, so earlier I was talking about Tim Dodd building a channel from scratch. Marcus also did this as well, where he started another channel, didn't tie his name to it or anything with EA having to do with it, and built up an entire channel, got over 10,000 subs, just from consistency. So we talk about this all the time, but that's a lot of gold is if you can really focus on being consistent and provide value with your content. But anyway, so these are all the old thumbnails, and now going into the future, what we just started doing is we revamped the way all of our shit looked like. So interviews are all gonna look like this with this half and half image. All the morning roasts are gonna start looking like this with me and Dave on each side, and then the title on here. We're still tweaking these, but we have the new morning roast logo, which is cool. Our in the field episodes will always have this little in the field sticker logo on the side, so you always know that this is like an in the field episode. So we're just dialing in the way our different pieces of content look so that it could kind of stick out. So when you go and, you know, scrub through morning roast, it's kind of easy to see what each episode is going to be about, and you know that it's a morning roast episode when it drops based off the thumbnail. So anyway, my TikTok has 27K now. Of course, you be fucking on TikTok. I need to get on TikTok. I want to fuck that shit up. The constant building of network really is the hardest part, in my opinion, Kyle says. I agree.
I feel like we've talked about this a lot. We started our morning roast basically on this topic, which was like trying to educate on the business side, because I just feel like that's just what people, he's talked about what people don't, you know, the mistakes they make, and it's like the networking, the emailing, the you know, the way you meet people, the way you reach out, the way you pitch stuff, the way you operate on set, the way you, all that stuff, that's the shit that levels you up the fastest.
All right.
Versus like, you know, the trying to get Instagram followers or whatever, because the real relationships you're building on the outside and the people that you know and the impressions that you're making is the shit that gets you the jobs, and that's how you're able to build, you know, the followers or whatever the fuck. So I think like, you know, that's what we try to do here at Black and No Cream, is just like share that shit all the time.
Justin said, Marcus, who do I submit complaints to about NHL 20 marketing? Laugh my ass off. Jesus. Yeah, you do have, Marcus says you always got to make time to build your personal brand. It's so true. But also it's the networking too. It's being able to build a brand so it's identifiable, and then being able to go in and talk your shit and get them to want to like fuck with you on a long-term relationship style, and that's gonna always continue to provide value back to you and give you jobs. Marcus sits here and reams my ass every single day for not having a YouTube channel and not staying active. I don't know if you noticed, Marcus, but we've been heavily active on this YouTube channel. All right, these In the Field episodes are clutch as shit, and I'm trying to give out more consistent. Our team's been working hard to be able to make these videos as solid as possible and give back. So we appreciate everyone that's been watching each video, leaving comments. The comments help a fuck ton, and sharing them with people that you think are gonna get some value out of it. That's been mad clutch. But all right, that's the end of this live stream. Thank you for joining us this month. We have another live stream this Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We will be talking about fundraising, like how you can raise money for projects. Getting funding is not easy, and I want to kind of go over a few different topics of things that we can talk about when it comes to that. He says I gotta start TikTok. I know I need to. TikTok is the new IG. There's a whole childhood audience on that shit that you could penetrate.
wrong fucking words.
Yeah, so we've been going in. Make sure if you guys want to do this next month, we're gonna start building a newsletter to alert you on times that we're gonna be going live. So we'll figure out, we'll share that with you guys in the Discord too. If you're not part of our Patreon channel, definitely consider doing it. If you enjoy these streams, if you enjoy the podcast, if you enjoy the In the Field videos or any of the episodes that we've been doing, the Patreon helps support us financially, keeps the lights on in here, and makes us do this every single day. So me and Dave have been going ham every single day trying to make sure we provide value back to you guys. So appreciate the support. Patreon.com/BlackWindowCream. Anything else that I left out? Dave?
No, just I guess be on the lookout for our schedule for the next one, so that I feel like we had a pretty good squad here today. So let's keep it up and tell other people that we got this going on, so we can all hang out together monthly.
Right. And here, just so you know, is our Patreon schedule for the coming months. The hell? Oh, sorry, that's not it. There we go. October. So we just did this on the 8th. The 10th is a HDR. Oh, that's what we're doing, bro. We're doing HDR photo bracketing. We're not talking about Finding Funny. Finding Funny is the podcast that we're going to be doing for the Bonus Morning Roast podcast. On the 10th, we're going to be talking about HDR photos and bracketing, how to do it. It's an interesting technique, but I think it could save a lot of your photos when you're on the fly. So we'll be diving into that. I'll probably show you how I did it with this one specific photo. And we'll go over all that. And then on the 25th, we'll have the Bonus Morning Roast episode. And then we'll repeat that shit in November. So, yeah, hang tight. We appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for fucking with us. And we will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.